Warm, huh, for you?
Yeah, it's not cold here.
Yeah.
How is
Yeah,
your
is your
son
son in-
doing, Melanie?
He's doing good. He had his procedure on Wednesday and he came home. He's doing good. So
Good.
Good.
You're
How was he?
located, I'm sorry, Melanie, are you located up off Masonville Hill?
yes.
Okay, I see your sign and sometimes I go the back way so I can.
Yeah, I tell people if you come the back way to school, that's what I tell people.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Here, mommy, kitty, kitty, kitty.
You guys want to get started?
I'm good.
Looks like this is it.
Had you heard from anybody else, Corbin, on replies?
I had 8 confirmations on band of people who said they were coming.
Hey.
So we'll start with an introduction of guests.
Yeah.
My gosh, he's got your face. Look at that. He just looks like a mini Corbin.
Oh my God, he's cute.
No, don't insult the kid like that.
He's a shirtless bandit.
Pantless bandit as well.
Oh dear.
Oh, well, we're not getting that bottom side, so that's okay.
All right. Can you run upstairs, please?
Play?
Yeah, you can play.
How old is he?
He'll be 4 in May.
Oh, gosh.
By so fast.
Now he goes to preschool, doesn't he?
He goes to Coleman,
Yeah, okay.
3K.
Yeah.
You all can see the screen I got up, right?
Yep.
So I wanted to structure these to be in the same kind of format as they were for in-person meetings, so with the same kind of agenda. So I couldn't really remember exactly how it worked, but I put it in the best order that I could remember. So first thing is first is if you guys want to do the pledge, we can do the pledge. If
Sure.
you want to
Okay.
forego all that stuff, we can do that too. But
All right,
does anybody want to lead us in the pledge?
pledge allegiance
You got to at least put
clothes on,
or you can't be. You got to go over
of the United States of America.
Go take a bath.
He's doing a little protest there with the flag, I know.
All right.
He's streaking.
Lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the
The
flag
flag
Of the
In the
United
United States of America,
and
and
to
to
the
the
republic
republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
Indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty and justice for
justice
all.
for all.
I'll have to edit that part out of the recording. So here is an update on the members who are in band and the members who aren't. I put this together 36 hours ago or so. So some of these people over here on the right actually have made it over to the left-hand side since I put this together. But for those of you, I think everybody who is here is in band. But so
Yeah,
you look over this.
Tony got in last night.
Yep. So Tony's in there. I put Judy on this side by mistake. She's actually over on the left. There's a few others from this list who have hopped on over, but for the most part, it's this group of people who still aren't in band. So if you run into them, if you see them, just give them a friendly reminder that they're making me sad, like this part. So
All right, glad you shared that list with us.
Nice graphic.
Where's Whit on that list?
Whit is
He's over there.
right-hand side.
Oh, I can't see it, I guess, because the pictures are covering it.
You can move your screen up. I changed it to grid view and then pushed it up. And then I can move it around so I can
Yes.
see it.
So
Oh, I
here,
see.
you
Oh,
can
thank you.
change how you see like who's talking. If you
Okay.
just want to see the person that's talking, you can click on the box that looks just like a single rectangle. And
Right.
then whoever's talking is the person that'll pop up. And that's what I like to use the best.
So Whit, Judy, and Spencer still not on?
Judy and Spence said that they would do it when they got back from their
Right.
trip. So they have plans to do it. They're just not in there yet.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything from Whit though.
Yeah, nor have I.
And Lori Lang joined, I think, this morning.
Oh, good.
So she's in there now. I would really like Dave Reynolds to do it. I think that he should definitely be in there. John Redente, same thing. Whit, same thing. So there's a few prominent Rotary members on this list still that really should be moved over to the left-hand side as soon as we can.
I'll send Whit another note. I left him a message.
Great. So thank you for everyone who's put in the effort to get more people over onto the left. It seemed to be working over the last couple of weeks, so that's good.
Even Melanie's on it.
So somebody else just joined. I'm not sure who that was, but
Anna.
all right. So I put this video together too. I think probably all of you that are here are familiar with how the calendar on band works. This took me about, I don't know, half an hour to put together, and I can do more of these if you think that they're going to be beneficial. There's no volume or no noise. It's just kind of a very, very quick explanation of the calendar. So it shows you, exactly where you got to go, what you got to do. It explains, these symbols that you see on the calendar, that this means that there's a club event there. Underneath the calendar is where all the events are located. And by clicking on one of those events, it'll take you to the RSVP page where you can see more about that event and let us know if you can attend it or not. By doing that, it really helps us out a lot as far as knowing what to expect and who's coming and who's not. I really like saving it to my Apple Calendar too. Some of you might not use that, but I do. So I put that in there as well. So I don't know how you guys feel about these sort of things, if they were helpful, if they weren't helpful. But again, I can do more of these. So if you have specific questions on band, and I know Jim asked me, the other day, can I send somebody a direct message on band? So if there's things like that you have questions on, I can make, quick 1 or 2 minute tutorials on how to do those things, but you just got to let me know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wasn't sure how to send you the pictures on band, so I did it through just text message.
Yep. So things like that, just let me know, and I have the time, I can create these kind of videos that walk you through those processes. Okay.
Well, one thing that helped me, Corbin, and maybe everybody else too, but when you sent out the invitation for this Zoom meeting today, it asked me which calendar I wanted to add it to. So
Okay.
like I normally use a Google Calendar, so I could add it to that. Or you can add it, to, like you say, you probably have an Apple Calendar.
Yep.
So whatever calendar you use, I don't know if it includes every particular kind of electronic calendar that's out there, but there was at least 3 choices.
Bill, I thought it was good that you shared the polio thing.
That was all
Yeah, that
Bill.
was a good article.
That was
What was
fantastic.
nice about that is I said to Corbin, I sent it to Matt, never having corresponded with him before. After I sent it to Corbin, and I wanted to let him know that the group in Sydney was aware of this article. And I was hoping that when he broadcast it to everyone else in Rotary, he would have mentioned Sidney, but he did not. But at least it got out there. It's a real nice article. And Jim had some good thoughts on it too.
It is a great article. The one thing I will say, Bill, is you can post that yourself. You can start that discussion on the band yourself. I think I'm the only one that's ever really said anything in there as far as creating a post, but it doesn't have to be that way. If you have something that you want to share with the club, you don't need my permission by any means. You can go ahead and do that.
Great.
All right. So What I didn't include in that video, because I made the video before I input all this new stuff onto the calendar, but I created 2 separate sections on your calendar. So you'll have a section where you'll see green dots, and you'll have a section where you see the pink or the light shade of red or whatever that is, the pinkish color dot as well. When you see a pink dot on your calendar, that just means it's a club event. So it's something that you'll be able to attend or volunteer at, something that the club is doing. Probably for the foreseeable future, it'll be on Zoom. When you see green, that is somebody's birthday or somebody's anniversary. I know that we haven't been doing a good job in the past few months of keeping track or up to date on these important days for people. So hopefully this way will at least make us aware, and we can celebrate those days more with our members. So another important thing is when you get on, this is the web version, by the way. It's going to look not very different, but it'll look a little bit different than how you see it on your phone. But for those of you who don't know, you can go to the band website right on your PC or your laptop. And I think it's actually a much easier way to navigate the site and find the things that you need. So this is what the calendar looks like, you know, on Chrome or Internet Explorer or whatever. You'll notice in the top right, it'll show you all of the things that are coming up. You know, I think it lists, what, 5 of them there in the next week or so. So if you don't want to go onto your calendar and start clicking through the days to try to figure out what's coming up, you got a short list in the top right. Okay. So from this calendar, the important dates for February, excluding the birthdays and the anniversaries and whatnot, we have a strategic planning committee coming up on February 16th. And I'll remind you again that we don't have a president-elect, we don't have a vice president. And so the ultimate goal of this committee is to develop a plan on how the club is going to navigate into 2021 and beyond. We've had one meeting so far. We've come up with what I think is a pretty solid idea. Hopefully this upcoming Tuesday, we can give that some more thought and kind of finalize a few things. This meeting is open to anybody that wants to attend. The Zoom invite will go out to the entire club the morning of, just like this meeting was. Okay. And then the 19th, so next Friday, we are going to meet on Zoom. We are going to record messages for Bill's family and for Ron. I'm going to edit those videos together. Not together, they'll be separate. I'm going to edit those videos separately. We'll send Ron a copy of his in a way that, you know, we'll be sure that he can see it. So maybe we'll have to send it to his daughters or something first.
For Melanie's sake, could you just update it for 10 seconds on Bill and Ron?
Sure. So Bill was a longtime Rotarian for many, many years. He had just recently passed away on January 11th, I think. And so
Bill Davidson.
Right, Bill Davidson, a big member of the Sidney community for many, many years. And in the past, Rotary had always, you know, shown out in force to funerals and calling hours and that sort of thing. Given the circumstances, we weren't really able to do anything. So kicking the can down the road all the way to February 19th, we finally come up with a way for the club to do something for Bill. And then Ron is also a past board member on the club. And he is currently in nursing home. Not sure how he's holding up as far as his health is concerned, but we do know that he likes to receive messages from the club, cards. And so hopefully that the video will be, you know, something that he's not expecting and be a nice surprise for him as well. So we're going to record those meetings on the 19th. I'll open up the Zoom meeting at noon. People can drop in whenever they want up until 1:30. You can say what you have to say. I'll get it recorded. I'll get it archived, and you don't have to stick around until 1:30 if you show up at noon. You're more than welcome to, of course, if you want to, but I just want to emphasize that the meeting on the 19th is not a regular meeting. Just show up, say what you got to say, and then you can go, or you can stick around. Doesn't matter. On the 26th, the following Friday, Matt Adler is going to drop in on our Zoom meeting. It'll be a regularly scheduled Zoom meeting. And so the way that this has kind of been working is that we are doing club meetings every other Friday, I think, moving forward. So this is what your February looks like. Meeting today, the meeting in 2 weeks with the district governor, and then in between those two, we're going to have strategic planning committee, and we're going to do those recordings for Bill and Ron. Okay. Any
Nice
questions on
job.
any of that?
Nice job, Corbin, getting it all on there.
Yeah, good reminders.
So I was just going to leave this up for a little bit and try to get anybody who wasn't in band that was in this meeting to join band, but I think everybody who is here is in band. We have a lot of visitors today.
I like your cat.
Yeah.
All right, so we won't spend too much time there. Club announcements. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about or share with the club? You can take the floor.
But the only thing I have is we're working with the principal of the Sidney High School to do something for the National Honor Society students. There will be no on-site at the school event ceremony, so we're probably their techie person is going to create a video, and then it'll be available to anybody that wants to view that, and we'll each student will go through what their aspirations are and that type of thing. And not sure what the final product's going to look like, but anyway, they're doing something, and I asked them if there's any way Rotary could help, and they're going to figure out something. So we're definitely going to have something for the kids. Just don't know exactly how it's going to turn out, but it's a real polished video type thing. So it'll be a nice final product.
Great. Thanks, Larry. Anybody else?
Hey, Larry,
Yes, sir.
can you explain for the people that are new what we usually do in non-pandemic times?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Typically in March, we have an event for the Sidney National Honor Society students, and there's usually 10 or 15, and the ceremony is about an hour and a half. We invite our district governor, and they come in as a guest speaker. The current president would be the MC. We have a meal at the Sidney High School in the cafeteria. And then they go through this really inspiring and very emotional type ceremony. And what is probably the highlight of that is each student tells what their aspirations are and what their future goals are, if they're going to college and where they're going. And the students are also joined typically by their parents. And I guess that explains it pretty well. Chime in, anybody else? It's if I missed anything.
That covers it pretty good, Larry.
Okay.
All right. Any other announcements that anybody has? I will say that I think it was yesterday, I made Linda an administrator for the club's Facebook page. So hopefully that's going to lead to some better content coming out of there. I know that I haven't been doing the best job with it. So Linda is much more
Definitely put
qualified to
birthday
do
for
it. And I think that good, big things are going to come out of that. Okay. So thank you, Linda. Anything else from anybody?
Thank you, Linda.
Okay, we'll see. I'm gonna put birthdays up there. We won't put dates or anything, but yeah. Well, I should say not years or anything, ages, but we will put birthdays. And is it okay, do you think, if I link up to them, if I tag them?
Yeah.
Like if I say happy birthday, Judy, and if Judy has a Facebook page, I'll just, highlight it so that way then you can somebody could just go onto her page to say happy birthday. You think that's okay?
Yeah, I think that's nice.
Okay.
I think you can do
Okay.
whatever you want. and then ask questions later.
Well, I did get a screenshot of your son.
Good, good. Well, I'll show you some more pictures of him here in a minute. We do have some anniversaries coming up this month. Dave and Michelle on Valentine's Day, and then Keith and Brenda the day after. So if you see any of them, just make sure we wish Keith and Dave happy anniversaries. Normally, we would sing songs for them if they were here, but neither one of them is here. So we'll move on. We're going to start doing happy dollars again. So if any of you have something that you want to say, you can say it. I have this idea or this thought that we can somehow, I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with like PayPal or Venmo or something like that, but it's an easy way just to send money to other people. If we set up a PayPal account for the club, then it becomes very easy to collect happy dollars in a format like this.
If you send it through the Facebook, your messenger, then they don't take fees out of it either.
Good to know.
So rather than like say they log into their account and then send it to that email, what they should do is just Facebook it to, it's called like family and friends or something like that. You go to your messenger, and then you can go to, like, if you have it set up with that page, like your Facebook page, and then you scroll down, and sometimes you have to move the links over on the page, and then you'll see a $sign, and then you can actually put any amount in there, and then it just goes right from whatever you have to them, and they don't take any fees out of that.
So it charges it, Melanie, to your credit card, PayPal would?
Or whatever you have set up.
Oh,
Yeah, whatever you have set up. But if you go directly to PayPal and then PayPal it to that person, then they're going to take like a certain percentage of it.
yes, they do.
So
That is good to know. Linda, do you know how all that stuff works?
I don't know how that works, but Melanie, I might get with you and
okay.
and see how that works, because that's great. I mean, because my other thing was Venmo. I mean, Venmo's real easy too, but I think if people are on Facebook, it's the easier way to do it.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's awesome. So enjoy your free happy dollars for today, because it looks like soon they won't be free anymore. So anybody have any happy dollars they want to talk about? I know that it kind of runs into our program a lot, but we could start here if you want.
I already said mine, my mom. So that's good. She's still 91.
Well, I got a happy dollar because I got my first vaccine a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to get my second one. It should be a week from Monday. So hopefully that'll take care of things for me and for Rita, and we'll be all set.
Are you doing that at SUNY Binghamton, Jim?
No, I'll belabor this just a little bit, but when things started to roll out, we actually signed up in 3 spots. We signed up in Bartles Pharmacy in Oxford. We signed up through the county website, and we signed up through the state website. And the state one, I think, is probably the one we're referring to, because we had an appointment in April down in Binghamton for the first shot. And so then we found out more about both Bartles and the county website, and the county website was the one that got back to us first. So we were able to get our shots right here in Norwich at the Methodist Church.
Wow,
Good job.
that's very interesting. Thanks for sharing that.
Right.
Rita got hers too?
Yep. She's all set also
Cool.
for shot number 1. And we'll be hopefully getting ours a week from Monday for number 2.
Mm.
Well, I did the same thing as you, Jim, and I looked up in Fulton, New York. So that's where I got my first shot and my second shot next week.
Oh,
So
good.
it's luck of the draw.
Had to drive a little bit though, huh?
Yeah, but I thought at that time it was worth it. Just, I didn't care.
Oh, I think you're right. Sure. Just to get those taken care of and get protected.
Do you notify the other 2 sites, Jim, that you had scheduled, that you don't need that
Yes,
appointment?
yeah. Once I knew about the earliest one, which was at the church, then I notified the other 2 to say thank you, but I'm all set now.
Okay.
Thanks, Jim. Anybody else? Or you just want to move on to the program, which is really in a way $100. So for today's program and for Melanie, the way that these meetings usually run is that we'll do like we just did, talk about club business for the first part, and then we'll normally have somebody come in and present a program of some sort. You know, you're familiar with that. So
I did attend a couple before all that stuff started going
Okay.
down.
Good,
Yeah.
good. So it's not foreign territory to you. So, but for
No.
today's program, what we had asked members to do was send us in, you know, images or text or whatever of what they've been up to since last March, you know, because we've been pretty disconnected. And so what the program is for today is a member program of just whatever they have sent in to me, and I put it up onto a slide, and we'll give them a few minutes to talk about it. So that's what you're going to see for today's program. The meeting in 2 weeks, the program will be our district governor, Matt Adler, and that will probably be more representative of what the Rotary meetings are usually structured like. So let's begin.
Look at that.
In November, we had another daughter born. Her name is Eliana, and she is adorable. These are her newborn pictures. She's already so much bigger than this. It makes me sad to look at it, but
Those are
she is
beautiful
cute though.
pictures.
Isn't she cute?
Adorable.
Lots of hair.
Lots of hair, born with a head full of hair.
That's quite a swaddle.
And she was, like I said, she was born in November. So
Mhm.
they did let me into the hospital, wouldn't let me leave. So I was stuck there with my wife for 3 or 4 days, living off of the hospital food, which wasn't the greatest, but this is all worth it, right? So brought her home after 3 days to her big brother and her big sister, who absolutely adore her. The picture on the bottom right is actually me with her in the hospital. The picture in the middle is my middle child, Emsley. She'll be 2 in June. You guys have already all met Zayden, but luckily this time he has clothes on. He'll be 4 in May. So family has been growing. I think we're hopefully full up at this point. This is a good representation of what I've been up to, because these little people, man, they eat up a lot of your time. So that's what I have to share. And next up is Larry.
Okay. Pandemic is really, I mean, last March, when COVID hit, hit the country, and then, that the media was talking about it in a big way. I was in Mississippi for training, and we had just gotten word, a pandemic, in spurts, though nobody was panicking really at the time, but really March was when everybody started to learn so much about this, and actually learn how much we didn't know about it. And then I went to Florida to visit my son, and I wanted to get back so bad, because that's when they were starting to put restrictions on flights, and I didn't know if I was actually going to get back or would have to rent a car or and drive back. So one good thing is my oldest son proposed to his future wife down there. I ended up having to buy the ring to do it. But you got to help out your kids when they need it, so, and he's been with this lady for 5 years, and we've been wondering, when, so I nudged him along a little bit. My dad did pass away April 1st. He was 91, but I mean, how fortunate was I to have him for that long? And I remember Bill Roach saying, we had a short conversation, and he says, boy, I wish I could go back and talk to my dad a little bit right at this moment. And maybe it was around Father's Time, Bill, I don't know, but you said, just enjoy him when you have him. And you were so right. And but I definitely missed the guy, that's for sure. And then in May, I was furloughed and applied for unemployment benefits for the first time. and felt a little guilty, but you know, what the heck. And June, I lost my job permanently. You know, and this is all kind of related around COVID. I was there for 34 years. In August, we had a nice tribute for my father. Was able to do a United States Navy military service, and we had something down at the Legion, and I spoke for about 10 minutes just talking about my dad and what he's done. Found a part-time job at the Sidney High School, and they didn't need me because of the COVID-related budget cuts. So I haven't really worked since, and I'm definitely loving that part. I do babysit my granddaughter now. You can see her there. She is a Bills fan. I know Tony would like that. You can see her with a Bills outfit.
Oh, yeah.
So, but you know, you have to stay busy, and I exercise about 2.5 hours a day. Active at the Sidney American Legion. We did a kids' Christmas party. I joined the Village of Sidney Police Reform Committee, joined the Sidney Historical Association and the Community Cultural Committee. So getting more active with other things around Sidney. Was able to sit at a United Way annual meeting. And I don't know if anybody here has been to one of those. What United Way is fabulous. What they do, they just, that's a great organization. Has anybody here been on the United Way committee?
I'm on the
No.
board.
You're on the board. Okay. Very impressed. But really, you know, this shouldn't be about, you know, what's happened to me, even though there was a lot. I just applaud the frontline workers, the medical and essential workers for what they went through and still are probably going through. I love the guys that are raising money for, you know, like Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy. I don't know if anybody's heard of him, but he's raised over $30 million for 167 small businesses. Guy Fieri from Food Network helping out the restaurant owners. And, you know, they're not getting the financial help that they need, but there are people out there and many more that are helping, you know, people all through the country. So you just got to love the, you know, that type of thing that you hear, because you know, if you watch any of the news, you know how negative it is, and it's all about politics, and boy, that's just a bad subject. And I'm really glad there's no politics in Rotary, so that's a good thing. Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry. Linda.
Oh, that's my grandbaby.
Mhm.
Asher was born in June. He was early, his due date, he was a month early. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but my son and his wife had a baby the year before on June 27th. And he was stillborn at 8.5 months. And so this was an especially precious Asher Thomas. And so when I heard she went into labor, of course, that was during the, you know, you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't do anything. So I just drove for 2 days and got there, stayed in an Airbnb for 2 weeks before I actually got to hold him in that picture. That was the very first time I held him. So he's
Beautiful.
precious.
That's wonderful.
And that pretty much sums up. I mean, I could look at this picture all day. I mean, yesterday they sent me a video and he was saying da, 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 da. So it's like, oh, okay.
That's so fun.
So I don't need to go anymore. That's it. That's my year. 2020, some people say, you know, they go, oh, they wish it went away. And in a way I do too, but it's like, nope, brought us Asher.
Awesome. Thank you, Linda. All right, Bill.
That's me. I'll do the bearded one first. This is the first beard I've ever grown in my life. And I went to go trim it a couple of weeks ago, and I guess I put the wrong, having never done this before, and I wound up putting a line down the side of my face, thinking, well, I either have to shave it all off or walk around with that line. So I did that. I'm riding in my Honda that I just traded in, put up there in the junkyard. it got over 300,000 miles on it. And that was my goal, is to keep it up until it was 300,000 miles. But back to the beard. So we have at the medical center, we have a facial recognition program by Apple. So you have to get in, you have your thumb print, you have your facial recognition, then you have your signature. And it wouldn't let me in. So we had to create the facial recognition part. The other one is was a student of mine who then became an intern at the medical center, Martin. Martin became a good friend. I hired him at the medical center, and his specialty was in dysphagia. Dysphagia is a Greek word that means difficulty in swallowing. And his specialty was with stroke patients, with patients with progressive neurological disease and Alzheimer's dementia. And he introduced me to Citi Field and the New York Mets, and we went often as friends. He was a soccer player on our resident program team. And he contracted COVID and passed away at the age of 44. He's left behind his wife, Pamela, and 2 children, a toddler and a newborn infant. And he surely will be missed. He was a healthy individual, so it underscores for me, of course, that this is not an old person's disease. And we'll miss Martin very much. We did do a GoFundMe page and for Martin, and we raised over $100,000 for his
Wow,
family.
nice.
So that will leave her well. She's a teacher in Baldwick, New Jersey. So those are my 2 stories.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Bill, you keep in touch with his wife, I'm sure.
We
right?
do. We do actually as a group. You know, at the Craniofacial Center, he was very helpful with, even though his specialty was with adults, he helped me very much with my preemies in the neonatal unit. He had some really good insight. He was a better diagnostician than he was a student. And he really grew. He was a good listener. He had great fun and great wit. And his wife really enjoyed that from him. Yeah, he was quite a guy.
So
Yeah,
sad.
they're all doing well as could be expected.
Yeah.
All right. Oh. So Rosemary sent me some stuff, but she's not able to make it today. So I don't know, do you want me to read this or do you just want to read it? I don't know what's the best way to do this.
Why don't you read it if you don't mind, Corbin?
All right, so this is in Rosemary's words. My family decided that due to COVID, we'd spend our summer by getting a seasonal campsite at Kellystone Park in Nineveh. Greatest decision we've ever made. We made lots of new friends and created great memories with our kids. What we thought would just be for this year has turned into already counting down the days until opening day next season. Other than time at camp, we spent a lot of time preparing the bowling alley to reopen safely. Despite all the restrictions, I'm having a terrific season. I bowled a 290 game a few weeks ago, a 7-11 3-game series recently, and I'm averaging over 210. I miss the fellowship of the sport, but am just thankful to be able to bowl. The other highlight of our year was watching Buffalo Bills football and dancing to the Shout song every touchdown. Wish we could have went all the way, but we're sure excited for next season. So that's from Rosemary. Spence and Judy also sent me in some pictures, but they are actually on their way to, I can't pronounce this.
It's Oswegatchie.
What he said, that's where they're going. And so he sent me a bunch of pictures from the camp. Here's the first one, and So he sent me seasonal pictures, he said. So he sent some winter ones, some fall ones, and then some ones in the summer. It looks like a beautiful place. I've never been.
Wow, that is pretty.
This dining hall is something that Rotary contributed to in one way or the other. I'm not real familiar with what we did there. Maybe somebody else is. But this is the picture of the dining hall that he sent me that said Rotary had helped contribute to. So
Where's the camp?
It's up north.
Oswegatchie.
that.
It's up north by the Adirondacks.
It's up by Governor.
Okay,
Right.
looks beautiful.
It is. I've been. I haven't seen the new place though.
Hi, Zayden.
So is Anna with us?
She was earlier, but I guess she was having problems, it looked like.
Okay.
Let's see.
These are photos from Anna. I'm not entirely sure who this little guy is, but he sure is cute. So she didn't give me any text or anything to say about what her pictures were about. So I think she was planning on being here. She also included this greenhouse picture. I wish I had more, but I'm afraid that's all I got for you. Jim.
Well, this is a game of pickleball. So I started to learn how to play this last January before the whole pandemic set in. This is a picture inside the Norwich YMCA. And it's just a kind of a fun game. It's really as much social as it is physical. You don't do a lot of running around. I mean, there's a lot of stopping, side to side kind of thing. But as you can see, it's a little bit like indoor tennis. You play over a net. I took a picture on the lower right-hand side there of what the paddle looks like, and you're actually playing with 2 wiffle balls. And it's just a great fun game. And a lot of people play outside too, especially down like in Florida or in that area. So there's probably, I would say, maybe 20 of us or so that any given day there might be 5 or 6, and there might be 12 that show up, and you just choose up teams. It's not like a formal league or anything. It's just show up, pick up teams, and just go out and play and have a good time.
Awesome. Do you want me to play these
Is it like
videos?
tennis where you hit it over and it bounces once?
Well, the rules are basically, the basic rules is you serve, and you have to serve it within like a quarter of the court. It has to bounce. Then the returning team has to hit it back, and back to the serving team, it has to bounce once. Then after that, it doesn't have to bounce at all. It can bounce once, can't bounce twice, but it can bounce once, or it doesn't have to bounce at all. So you can hit it out of the air after the first serve and return.
Is it hard on your knees?
Not too bad. No, one of our guys who's a very good player that shows up actually has had 2 hip replacements, and he's playing, and he's a very good player.
So there's hope for us then. Okay.
Yes, there is.
So I am playing these videos that Jim sent in. So on the bottom left and on the top right are actually videos, not pictures. So I'm just been continuously pressing play here and starting them over and over again. But from his explanation of what pickleball is, I think these videos actually do a pretty good job of showing you how it works.
Yeah, exactly. What is it? 21 wins? What wins? 11?
Normally we play to 11.
11.
Now, as you can tell, there's 4 people playing at a time. Often we have 2 courts set up so we can play 8 at a time. But if we have an extra player or 2, like maybe we have 10 people show up, so you can only have 8 people playing at a time, then we normally shorten the game to 9, just so we can get people who are sitting out into the game and rotate more frequently.
You could just play one-on-one though, right?
You can play one-on-one. Generally, unless we're just like practicing, we generally don't play one-on-one, but you can play one-on-one on a full court, or you can play what they call skinny singles, where you just play to half a court. So there's a couple variations of that.
Thanks for defining skinny.
We used to play pickleball in high school. It got very competitive, probably too competitive. It's
Yeah,
a fun game though. I love to play it.
it is a fun game. We have a good time and it's fairly competitive, but most everybody has a good attitude. I mean, if somebody misses their own shot, they might toss their paddle or something, but you get over it pretty quickly, and what everybody just recognizes, we're out there to have fun.
In Kansas City, there's a chain of them called Chicken Pickle or something like that. So there's like 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, I don't know about chicken pickle.
Well, they have lunch. I mean, they serve food and stuff in addition to the big pickle courts that are out there.
Oh, okay. And so I highlighted that. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about the year since then, but since March. But Rita and I were actually in Florida for the month of March. That's in the middle of March, of course, when everything hit. So we drove back home to Norwich because we didn't know for sure at that point in time. Nobody did, where the roads are going to be closed, hotels and restaurants are going to be closed, or whatever. So we cut our vacation basically in half in March. And so got back here just to start getting involved with the highlights of everything. Of course, fortunately for us, it was much worse in New York City than it was upstate, but so it was still bad all over for a while. And then in August, we were able to take a family vacation, which is something we've done pretty annually, down to Long Beach Island in New Jersey. So we were there with about 15 people. And that was kind of interesting because, you generally wear your mask. You had to wear your mask to the beach. Once you got on the beach and were at least 10 feet apart from other groups, you could take your mask off. But we had a family agreement that nobody would go out for dinner. So we all, every couple, and this is our generation and the next generation down, but we all had a night to prepare a meal. So we could eat inside and not expose ourselves out in the public any more than we needed to.
Certainly cheaper that way too. I know you like that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Saved a little bit of money because we just bought for one meal to prepare ourselves at home and didn't have any restaurant bills.
Thanks, Jim. You got anything else?
No, that's good. That's enough.
All right. So I think this is the last one. This one's from Dennis, who couldn't be here with us today, but he also gave us some text that he wanted me to read off. So this is me, as if I were Dennis, but whoop, there we go. My granddaughter Paige's 6-month-old birthday picture. Is somebody talking?
No, I was just gonna say, if you were Dennis, we'd be looking at this picture for the next 15 minutes as he's talking.
And then he would start talking.
Yes, this might be the quicker
That's
version, but
That's funny.
I gotta read this so fast. You gotta be quiet. My granddaughter Paige's 6-month-old birthday picture. Take the hair and glasses off my head, and some may say she resembles me. I hope not, as I think she is extremely cute and beautiful. I am not a too proud grandfather. I hope you all get a kick out of my granddaughter Paige. Thanks for letting me share my last 6 months with our little doll. So that's from Dennis.
Nice.
She's cute.
Adorable.
She's so cute. Oh, and
Still
then,
have 20 minutes.
yep, so look at that. We're done. All right, Joan, go ahead.
I'm on mute. As soon as we were told in March 21st that we could no longer meet face-to-face with buyers or sellers, I decided it was the perfect opportunity to visit my family in Connecticut, which I never see enough of because I'm always working. So it was a great opportunity to stay with them a longer period of time than I've ever stayed. I stayed until just about Easter or just after Easter. And while I was there, the picture that you see of the flowers is the first needlepoint project I had ever tackled. Peter had bought a gift for his wife, Megan, and she could not figure out how to do needlepoint. She'd never done it. So together we worked out these stitches, and then she decided this was not for her. And so I enjoyed tremendously finishing it for them. And I didn't get it done while I was in Connecticut. I brought it back here, finished it up, and then made a pillow for them and returned it to them. I regret that I didn't take pictures of my Connecticut family, but anyhow, it was a great visit. And then when I got home, I had always wanted to sand the floors in the house I live in Seneca Street, but there wasn't time before I moved in. If anybody's ever had the experience of getting floors sanded, they may know that this is terrible when you're living in the house. You have to move all your furniture. And of course, to get first floor done, I put 2 rooms into 1 room. And then of course, when they get that room done, then you move all your furniture back into another room. So of course, this is a huge job. But I am so glad I did do it. And then I ended up with the upper picture there. I had always wanted to replace the old tiles that were in the basement. So I put this, oh God, I forget what they call it, plank vinyl flooring. And I had the guy put that down in the basement. So anyhow, I'm really glad I made some improvements during this time when actually it was not done till November. And actually the business for real estate was crazy because after I got back, things kind of just took right off. Well, actually I put in there that the Otsego, Delaware multiple listing site does a monthly report. And for December, the sales, our closed sales was up 76%.
Oh,
So if anybody has had to deal with an attorney, an inspector, an appraiser, you all know that all of those, even moving companies right now, are so busy because due to COVID and due to the lowest interest rates in the last 75 to 100 years, the people are just moving. They are buying houses in another location or buying property, and it has affected all of the industries connected with the real estate business. So anyhow, that's my story that I've been doing since March.
Awesome. Thank you,
You
Joan.
made a lot of extremely positive things happen in a very challenging time.
Well, you know, I feel very bad for folks that are feeling very depressed and worried about COVID, but I've managed to stay safe and I've managed to keep very busy.
What about you, Tony? What have you been up to?
Trying to survive.
God, I was on mute. Can I just interject the question for Joan real fast?
Yeah.
Have you found that a lot of the people are downstaters wanting to move here? Or is it just like within the area of just local moves?
No, we've had more downstaters. We've always had people from the city and Long Island moving up, but I do think it's increased tremendously. And they just are either, it's going to be their retirement home, but they definitely know that they want to get away from the metropolitan areas.
Okay, good to know. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. I think that was the last slide, but let me double check. Yep. That's it. All right. So that's all I have for as far as the program or presentation goes today. So you're muted, Linda.
Oh, Ray came out.
How
Ray,
about
hi,
Melanie?
Ray.
Does Melanie want to share something? I mean, I know she's been busy with masks and stuff.
Yeah, I've had a pretty eventful year. I've stayed very, very busy for 2 months. That's all I did was masks. I worked like 7 days a week, 16-hour days. That calmed down, thank God. But I'm still busy. And then I also have really gotten into, some people know I'm up to right now, I think we have 21 cats now. We do cat rescue. We got into that. We get cats from the city that people basically just take to dump at the shelter. They don't want to be bothered with them anymore. And I just got another cat the other day, last week. She's a little calico named Hannah. Her owner had her, took her to the vet. She got a diagnosis of lymphoma, and so they dumped her at the shelter. And so we work with a rescue. We have a specific rescue that we work with, and then when they get, and we mostly take in senior cats, and we've lost a few cats, but we've adopted, I think Hannah was number 10 from the city that we got, and so so they keep us busy. So between working and my cats, that's what I do.
That's a lot of care.
It is. And the thing is, and a lot of people say, why do you have so many cats? But I wouldn't have so many cats if people spay and neutered their animals.
Exactly.
So it doesn't, and a lot of times when you get the senior cats, unfortunately, we don't have them very long, 4 or 5 months, and, they pass because they're old, and, you don't sometimes know the condition they come to you in. And we have had some. Matter of fact, I got one a couple weeks ago. She was here for a week and passed, but I think she had cancer or something going on. So this is just their place to go, their last stop, and we want to make that as comfortable and loving as possible, because not all of these animals have ever seen that in their life.
Mhm.
So it's just a real passion that we have. So
That's nice, Mel.
Do you have any relationships with Chinese restaurants?
Jim,
Yeah.
You know what? That's funny that you mentioned that, because because sometimes we we work with the rescue group, and so anyway,
Oh, Jim.
my fiance wanted a cat. They had a cat on there after we had the one older senior lady that passed away last weekend. He goes on there and he says, so we're always looking, and he says, oh, I really like this cat. Well, come to find out. So Matt, the person that runs the cat part of our rescue, he puts in the request. You get all the emails with the information back and forth. And then come to find out, somebody wanted to foster. They wanted him to foster, then to adopt, which if we live closer, we probably have more because we'd be able to foster, but we don't live that close to the city. And I said, well, maybe they told us no, maybe they think we're running a Chinese restaurant. So it's funny that you say that, because we've gotten 10 from the city. And a lot of people say, well, why don't you get cats from like Delaware Valley? Well, I'll tell you why, because they are a kill shelter down there. They kill their cats and dogs. Once they have been there a certain amount of time, that's it. So here you don't see that because you don't have the volume of animals coming in on a daily basis. So that's why we tend to go with the city. And then it's really nice because they actually bring the cats to us. We don't even have to go get them. They have there's a delivery service, and they actually bring the cats right to our door.
That's wonderful you do that.
Yeah, so.
Ray, you want to share anything with us today?
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
My life's the same as always, just very busy. The year's probably the trying time for me this last year has been, I work from home, as you know, but my grandkids, I have 7 grandchildren. 2 of them go to Unitico, and they're home 3 days a week. My parents work, so that means we have them 3 days a week. So we're trying to do school stuff with the kids, plus I'm trying to work 3 days a week. That makes it a little tough, but we all get through this.
Thanks, Rob. All right.
I
Yeah,
like
COVID,
things normal.
COVID made a new lifestyle for many people.
It
That's
did.
for sure.
Hey, Melanie.
Anybody else? Any-
Melanie, you might have nicknamed this group the Senior Cats. The new name for Rotary now, the Senior Cats.
That's okay.
Sue? Are you still there? Has she shared? She might have.
Yes, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Did you share already? You might have, and I forgot.
No, I didn't. Wasn't gonna share actually.
Okay, you
It
don't
was a
have
rough
to.
year, and I was just gonna like move on past it.
Okay, that works for us. So,
Okay, cool beans.
if
I
that's
think
it,
2021 is gonna be great.
right, that's the right attitude.
Okay.
All right, so if anybody has anything else, now is the time. If not, I think we're all set to get out of here a few minutes early. Any last thoughts from anybody?
Corbin, I've got an update on Ron. I'm just going to kind of read. Wait a minute. He says his dementia prevents him from having the capability to understand a lot. Ron remembers some things from the past, but usually has only like a 10-minute recall. He does love mail. She says, I write and his daughter reads them to him. Not sure how much he understands, but even a fleeting moment of recognition is worth the effort to write to him. And we do have his address, so maybe that's already posted on Band. I don't know.
It isn't yet, but I'll get it out there. I know that you
Okay.
had sent that to me. Okay.
That's extremely important for anyone that actually had life experiences with Ron. You know, I've only had a few, but for those people that go way back with that Alzheimer dementia group, for you to be able to write something that would spark that memory just for a second or three, be kind of cool.
All right. Anything else from anyone? We all set.
Well, just thanks, Corbin, for putting this together.
Yes.
As well as the
Nice
other work
job,
you're doing for the
Corbin.
club,
Nice
but
job,
this-
Corbin.
This is a good day today. Nice meeting.
And Bill, thanks for suggesting this because great idea.
Great idea. Yeah.
Good meeting.
Yes.
If any of you guys have any other really, really good ideas, Strategic Planning Committee meets on Tuesday. Hopefully to see you on there. Okay.
And I like the park idea, Bill, that you came up with too.
Great.
Families gathering in the park. Not that we can probably do that maybe this year, but
That's
something.
my eyes are set on that. I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, that's
Right.
a good
I
one.
think that Mike is very much interested in that also, but it doesn't have to be Sydney Center Park Group. It could be anywhere in Sydney. Yeah, I think this is a great way of doing that dollar thing is, maybe assign 3 people a meeting to share a picture or a thought. Brings out the warmth in everyone.
Yes.
All right. So I guess that's it. Hopefully
Wait,
I'll see
I'm
you.
sorry, just one more thing. Wait, Melanie, was there something that we could do, Rotary can do for you with your project there with the cats?
I mean, I don't know. They're always the rescue that I deal with is always, they're always doing fundraisers and stuff like that. I mean,
Okay, well, just keep us in mind. I mean, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but just,
okay.
mind and something,
Yeah.
okay?
Well, and if there's anything that I can do too, because a lot of times I can make stuff too, like I can personalize stuff too, like keychains and stuff like that. If you guys need stuff for, like your benefits and stuff like that.
Awesome. That would
Nice
be-
idea.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? We're all set? Okay. Hopefully I see you on Tuesday. If not Tuesday, hopefully I'll see you on Friday. If not Friday, hopefully I'll see you on the next Friday.
Okay, once again, welcome, Melanie.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Melanie, for
Nice to see you,
coming.
Melanie.
We will see you soon, okay?
Nice to see everybody.
All
Bye.
right,
Yes,
thanks,
good to see
everybody.
you.
Bye.
Want to do the motto?
Oh, yeah, we can.
Serve above self.
Way to go, Jim.
One profits most who
Most
serves
who serves
best.
There we go. Nailed it.
Keep him straight, Jim.
That's right, we gotta
All
keep
right.
it going.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day. Good weekend.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.